Good morning. So today I'm going to show you how to make pom-poms that do not fall off. Really sturdy pom-poms, okay? And I've brought with me some examples of pom-poms that I've made over the years. Now, these are a selection of my kids' hats, and my eldest child is nearly 6. So you can imagine how long they've had these hats. And these pom-poms have never fallen off, and these are for small children. So that, this hat must be about 4 years old at least, and it still has a pom-pom on it. This is one of the newer ones. So these are well-loved, well-used pom-poms on the top of hats. And I'm going to show you how to make a nice full pom-pom that doesn't fall off easily. Okay, now these hats were made for babies and children and they have not come off, so there is hope. What you'll need today is a darning needle. So I've used a large plastic one just so you can clearly see what I'm doing with the stitches. You will also need a pom-pom maker. Now I have a selection of them. These are 2.5-inch pom-poms, which are great for baby hats or the end of scarves or just for craft purposes. So these, in the US, this is known as Knitter's Pride, but mine is Knit Pro. And I also have some general unbranded ones that you just get from hobby and craft shops. And this is the one that I use for big pom-poms or adult pom-poms. It's a Knit Pro 3 3/8 of an inch or 85 millimeters, so 8.5 centimeters. And I'm going to do a hat repair. So my daughter, when she was very bad, pulled the pom-pom off. So I did say they're very strong. There will always be a casualty, and here it is. So today I'm going to make a new pom-pom for this hat, and I'll show you how I do mine. So the first thing you need to do is get your pom-pom maker. So put that to one side. Oh, you will also need very sharp scissors. So I recommend fabric scissors for this. So I'm using Fiskars, which are for dressmaking mostly, but I use them to cut if I need to for pom-poms, okay? Because what you will need is a very sharp edge to come up through here. You don't want to be wrestling with the strands. So I'll just put that there for a moment and take the yarn. Okay, so I'm just using some DK weight yarn, and it is important what ply it is, okay? So it could either be kind of a single ply yarn or it could be plied several times. The more it is plied, or basically, twisted, you can't really see here, but the more the strands have been twisted, the stronger the yarn will be. So bear that in mind when you are making a pom-pom. So I'll open up the first half of the maker and I will just hold down the tail end with my thumb like this. Hold it down like that and I'll start winding, and I'm going to keep winding. So say I go to here to the end, and then I'll work my way back across to the other end. Okay, and I'll keep going back and forth, back and forth. So wrap the yarn around until, it should feel tight as well, wrap it around until all of the green, or whatever colour your pom-pom maker is, or if you're using a cardboard one, wrap it until it's completely covered. Okay, so I've wrapped until I can't see the green colour of the pom-pom maker anymore. But I'm not going to stop there, okay? So think of that as the first layer. And I'd say that was about 1 millimeter thick. So you can still feel the edge when you pinch. We're going to go around again. We're going to make it nice and thick. So you'll know how thick it is because when you get to the edges, it will come out and almost be as far out as here, okay? So I'm going to wrap again. Okay, I'm going to do it all again until it's nice and thick and these edges do not feel straight, they feel a little bit squishy. So evenly distribute as best as you can. Just keep going round. You want it to be nice and thick. Okay, so if you think you've done enough, you probably need to do a bit more. So keep going, back to the edge, and then come back to this side again. It's a bit awkward trying to show you on camera, but you get the gist. So you just keep going and keep going and keep going until you can't really see these edges. Okay. The best way to tell if your pom-pom is thick enough is when it comes to this edge here. You can hardly wrap anymore because it keeps slipping onto here. So I'm just going to go back one more time. All the way over. I'm going back towards the inside of the pom-pom maker now because I need to do the other side. So you can see there, it's quite thick. Okay, it's quite thick. So it's quite thick here. So as you can see, you give it a squeeze and it feels really firm. You can hardly feel the pom-pom maker underneath. Okay, I've gone back and forth around 5 or 6 times. It's really full here and it's really full here. Okay, that is going to be a nice thick pom-pom. And then what I'm going to do is make sure that I am happy with how thick that is. Just go back to the end one more time. Okay, and then through there. And I'm going to bring the other leg of the pom-pom maker out, and I'm going to start on this side. So just keep winding until this one is the same thickness as that one, and that is very thick. Okay, I'd say that was about 2 millimeters thick. Okay, so keep going until they are both full and thick. So I'll just show you again. You see the way you can clearly see the curved edges on this side, but you can't really see them on this side. That is an indicator of how thick your pom-pom needs to be, okay? That should seem like an even curve, whereas this one at the moment is still too bumpy. We want it to be basically 3 edges instead of all of these curved edges. Another thing you should think about when you are making pom-poms, if you want a nice thick pom-pom, you have to be prepared to use yarn that may not be the yarn that came with the hat. So what I mean by that is if you bought one skein of maybe fancy hand-dyed yarn, you might not have enough left for the pom-pom. However, you might. So just bear that in mind, because you can use a lot of yarn on a pom-pom. I'm using quite a bit here. Possibly an entire mini skein's worth. But we'll see. So I'm at the point now where I'm just gonna get to the other side again. So you see those curly edges have gone now. And we just have 3 smooth edges instead. And obviously if you have a pom-pom maker that just has round edges anyway, you'll just notice it's really thick now and it may need to be assembled. So what I said before about the yarn type, you can see, well, you might be able to see, but you can see that this yarn has been twisted a lot. So that's the ply. So this is really strong. Okay. It's a few strands that have been twisted together to make it nice and thick. Okay, so I'm going to pull the working yarn through here, close the pom-pom maker, okay, and I'm going to cut, but I'm going to leave, so that's about 6 inches, I'm going to leave about 12 inches, so about 30 centimetres cut. And there we have it. So we have this tail end attached to the pom-pom. Okay, now just put that to one side. Do not cut it off. Take your fabric scissors And what you'll see is a lot of pom-pom makers have grooves down here so that you can easily put the scissors in. So take your time at this bit. So you see why using fabric scissors will be a lot easier than using regular scissors, because the cuts are quite clean. And just take your time. You don't want to end up in a fight with pom-pom thread. I'm just snipping the ends there and then go back in to make sure they're gone. Okay, you want it to be nice and clear down this center part here. So keep going. Satisfying to watch it open out. And it might be slightly uneven at this point as well. There we go. So there's one half. Turn it over, just keep it all together, and do the same on the other side. So don't worry if some strands are slightly longer. It doesn't matter at this stage. So you want to try and get your scissors into the groove, but do be careful because these are fabric scissors and they are sharp. Okay, we're nearly there. So it will be quite thick because you've wrapped it around so many times. Okay, so the pom-pom is inside and we have that tail end that I told you to just move out of the way, and I'll show you what I'm going to do. So I'm holding it with, this is like the middle part, and pull it through here, okay, and then cross those two strands over, pull it really tight, and this is why you need a really strong plied yarn so that you can pull it really tight. So you'll see there's just a couple of strands here that haven't quite come off, so I'm just going to make sure that they are trimmed and out of the way. And these ones here, stubborn strands. Okay, so you pull there across nice and tight, and you can feel the tension there. Okay, now you're going to flip it over, go to the other side, and you're going to cross the threads and tie another time. Again, pull really tight. This is why you need strong yarn, because you do not want any of these little strands to escape. And we do one more on the other side, but we're going to knot it this time. So that's gone in there, and then just tie one more time to secure it with a knot. Okay, so pull it out. And if you're using a card one, you'd cut it away at this point. Okay, and there we have it, a pom-pom. So this pom-pom will need a little bit of a trim because some of the threads are slightly longer than the others. But you can see here at the bottom, so I'll just get rid of those bits. You can see here at the bottom that I've got these two ends that I can use, okay? So these ends will be the ends that I sew in. This is a nice, heavy, big pom-pom, okay? And I'll sew in using these ends. So I'm going to show you how to secure your pom-pom. Now, as you saw in the previous clip, I did knot inside the pom-pom, so that's nice and secure. Now we're going to sew it to the hat. Okay, so don't worry if the tail is slightly short. We don't really need it to be that long. You can see at the top of the hat where that's the old thread, I might use that in a minute, but you can see at the top of the hat where the closing is. So just go kind of on the edge of it. You don't have to go in straight through the closure. Okay, and then nice and careful. Pulled that through. Okay, you see? So there's the hat on the other side. And what I'm going to do, because that's not quite long enough, I'm just going to knot it in here. Okay. So knots are great for keeping pom-poms on the hat, because they might come loose, but they won't come off. Another one. Let's get this other thread through there. Again, might come loose, won't come off. So you can use these threads and then go into the closure again, onto the top, turn it out. Right. And what we can do here is we can tie those two threads together on the inside of the hat. And I'm going to show you now how to secure the pom-pom and make sure it doesn't come off. So at the moment the pom-pom it's secured, but it's a bit wobbly. Okay, I'll show you how to keep it nice and secure. So I'm going to cut another length of yarn. Let's go with 20 to 30 centimeters again. Okay, and I'm going to try and get it through this massive darner needle. Right, I'm not going to go that way. I'm used to using those little metal darner needles, but I can just thread this way. Okay, so I got my tail end. I haven't done anything yet in regard to knotting it. And what I'll do is I'll just turn the hat onto the wrong side again. I will put the needle through some of those closure stitches, and I'm going to tighten a knot again to anchor it. So this acts as an anchor and the pom-pom cannot run away. Okay, now what we do is we take the darner needle and we go right up through the center of the closure, and we're also going to come right up through the center of the pom-pom. Now there'll be a bit of resistance as you do this, but that's good. That means there's a solid knot in the middle of the pom-pom. So I've come right up through the center, and I'm going to just move ever so slightly to the left, feed it through again, and I'm coming in on a diagonal this time so I can check on the inside of the hat, pull that through. Okay, so that's where I started, and then I came over. I'm going to go to the other side now, but not too far because I still want to come up through the pom-pom. So through again. Okay, and then we're going to go through the centre again. So it's almost like you're coming in diagonally at 4 points so that there's a cross in the centre. And this just makes sure that the pom-pom stays where you want it to. Then I'm going to come back through as centrally as I can. Okay. And I've crossed over. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to secure it again with another knot, would you believe? Okay, and then cut those off because they're knotted. And there we have it. We have a secure pom-pom that will not come off. Okay. Now try that. Let me know if it works for you. If you like this pom-pom tutorial and you want to learn some other knitting and crochet techniques, do hit like and subscribe and come back for more.